Good afternoon, and thank you all for coming. I particularly want to thank City Council members Myrtle Cole and Mark Kersey for joining me here today, along with Library Director Misty Jones, and of course Encanto Planning Group Chair Ken Malbrough. Ken doing great stuff out here all the time. We also have a special guest who I'm going to introduce in a moment. You know, I'm excited because today is about bringing new learning opportunities to San Diego's youth. And today is about spending tax dollars smarter so our neighborhoods get more benefits. And today is about a new way of doing business that we started after I took office 2 years ago, a way that's paying off big for our local libraries, rec centers, and neighborhood infrastructure. So I think you know that every year the city receives millions of dollars in community development block grants from the federal government that can be used for a variety of purposes to help low and moderate income areas. And in the days after I took office, we decided that this money should go to our city's #1 priority, repairing and improving our neighborhoods. So we changed how we invest those block grants so that more money can be used to make neighborhood infrastructure upgrades. In the past years, the city would allocate less than $1 million to fund those neighborhood upgrades. And now that the reforms that we have implemented at City Hall are leading to a larger investments in neighborhoods across the city. That is good news for every single community. This reform in particular will allow for $7.6 million in additional funding for our neighborhoods. And those are real dollars making a real difference. And this year we're building a better future for San Diegans by making infrastructure improvements to the libraries and rec centers that residents rely on to help improve their lives. Wait for that. The Malcolm X Library behind us now will benefit with a new teen technology center that includes new computers and a recording studio for young adults. And this new teen center was also made possible with a $1 million donation from the Legler Benbow Foundation. And the foundation's president, Peter Ellsworth, is here. And I want to thank him and his organization, Peter, for making a huge difference. Thank you very much. This new teen center is just one of many new upgrades to recreation centers and other community assets, thanks to the city's reprioritizing federal dollars to go for neighborhood improvements. This is how we build our better future for generations to come. It's about working together, and it's about working together in the neighborhoods that need it the most. And that's why today is such an exciting day for not only us here, the Malcolm X Library, but for neighborhoods across the city. And now I'd like to introduce two council members who have long been champions for investing more in our neighborhoods. First up, of course, is the council member from this district whose constituents will be using this new teen center, Councilmember Myrtle Cole. Myrtle?
Thank you, Mayor Falconer. Good afternoon and welcome to the 4th Council District, home of the Malcolm X Library, a beautiful facility that is used by so many of the residents of the 4th Council District and throughout the city. The residents wanted an upgrade at this library, something that would better serve our youth. That is where the idea of the Teen Technology Center came from, the desire to better serve the youth in our community. Upon City Council approval tomorrow, the library will be awarded $500,000 in community development block grant funds to be used towards the Teen Technology Center. This technology center will be a resource that offers young people an opportunity to explore and develop technological skills. The center will include a STEM-focused idea, lab, and media center to prepare teens for high-paying jobs as well as high-tech jobs. This means teens will develop technological skills in areas such as graphic design and media production. I'm so confident that skills learned in this teen center at this great library will be used by our youth to change the future of technology. I'd like to thank Mayor Falconer for making libraries a priority in the city of San Diego. Thank you, Mayor Falconer. I also would like to thank the Consolidated Plan Advisory Board, the tireless group of volunteers that helped to prioritize this project. Your efforts made funding possible. As Vice Chair of the Infrastructure Committee, I'm glad to see this project move forward because I know it will change the lives of many residents in our community. Now, may I introduce my chair? He's the chair of the Infrastructure Committee. He's a council member. He's my person who we fight things together. You know, we're in this battle together, and he's never been more supportive. I would like to introduce our friend, Councilmember Mark Kersey.
Well, thank you, Myrtle, and good afternoon, everybody. I'd first like to say how excited I am to see the road repair and the new sidewalks over here on Market Street. It's a tangible sign of progress. That's right, we'll have a round of applause for that. That's right. And I know I'd be remiss, and Myrtle would not be happy if I didn't mention the need to get the other side of Market Street, the sidewalks done there as well. We're going to work on that as well. Myrtle is, as she said, a great partner as we seek to rebuild our city as both Vice Chair of the Infrastructure Committee as well as Chair of the Economic Development Committee, and her work to rebuild our city is greatly appreciated. When the Council approved the Mayor's reforms to the CDBG program to put a larger emphasis on neighborhood projects, this is exactly what the Council had in mind. Nearly all the projects receiving funding from this year's CDBG allocation leverage other public and private resources. This year's allocation will also fund major improvements to the Park de la Cruz Community Center, the Neil Good Day Center, the Martin Luther King Jr. Recreation Center and Pool, both the Mid-City and Southeastern Police Division stations, as well as the City Heights Recreation Center. The projects include long-needed repairs to critical building systems, energy efficiency improvements, and the addition of city-owned rooftop solar systems, which will provide energy savings for years to come. We must continue to look for every opportunity available for investing in our city's infrastructure. Paired with the long-term strategy that Rebuild San Diego ballot measure provides, our neighborhoods are finally getting the meaningful infrastructure investment that they deserve. I look forward to approving this at Council tomorrow and continuing to work with the Mayor, Councilmember Cole, as well as the rest of our colleagues on the City Council to rebuild San Diego. Thank you very much.
Next up, it's a pleasure to introduce our Library Director, Misty Jones. Misty, come on in. She introduced that council.
Good afternoon. I am thrilled to be here. Dedicated teen spaces and libraries are incredibly important as they provide a way to create a positive and a safe environment for studying, socializing, as well as a way to interactively acknowledge and engage our teens. Teen spaces also create a sense of belonging, community involvement, and of course, library appreciation, which we all like. Several focus groups were held here to decide what aspects would be included in this teen space. We are proud to announce that what will now be known as the Legler-Benbow Teen Idea Lab, which IDEA stands for Innovation, Design, Education, and Arts, here at the Valencia Park Malcolm X Library will have study rooms, computers, including a 3D computer lab for learning elements of design and engineering, and a recording studio, among other features. I want to acknowledge Catherine Nakamura, who is on the Library Commission, for being here in support of the library today. And also our Library Foundation, who has made this donation from the Legler-Benbow Foundation possible. There is still an opportunity for individuals and organizations to support programs, technology, and resources at the Legler-Benbow Teen Idea Lab. And for more information on that, you can visit the Library Foundation at www.supportmylibrary.org. Thank you.
Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Misty, and thank you, Catherine and Jay, for all of the work that you all are doing at our libraries. This is a great time for our neighborhood libraries. And speaking of that, it's my pleasure to introduce Peter Ellsworth, who's president of the Legler-Benbow Foundation. Peter.
Thank you very much, Mayor Falconer. First of all, let me say to all of you from the city government, thank you very much for your emphasis on neighborhoods. It is very important and it's very much appreciated. I'd like to also comment that, you know, this is a fabulous neighborhood. There are so many innovative, creative, interesting, dedicated people in this neighborhood that whenever we give them an opportunity to come in, be involved in the planning and the idea structure of what we're doing, we get the very best possible project like this one here today. That's the model we need to follow because it works, it produces the best results. So all I can say is thank you very much to all of you for allowing us to have a small role in such an important project. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Of course, next up, a gentleman that has been a champion out here in this district for a long time, doing great things with the council member in our community planning group. I'd like to introduce Ken Malbrough. Ken. Thank you, my friend.
You bet. Thank you. Good afternoon. On behalf of the Encano Neighborhoods Community Planning Group, I'd like to thank the mayor, Councilmember Cole, Councilmember Kersey, Misty Jones, the San Diego Library Foundation, to Ellsworth for your hard work, and the citizens out here who actually help work on this particular project. So we really do appreciate that, and we want you to show up tomorrow at the council meeting in order to continue to support that action. I grew up in Southeast San Diego. In fact, I lived just a few blocks from Mountain View Park. We called it Ocean View Park. When I was 10 years old, I used to go to an after-school program. And in that program, one day, there was a fire engine that showed up and showed us all their gear, their equipment. And in the process, they had to go on an emergency. And they suited up, went down the street, rolling with their sirens and going on. And a light went on in my head and said, you know what? I can do that. That is something that I would like to do. Well, 15 years later, I did it. And I did it for 31 years. Now, I'm telling you this because this is not just a teen tech center. It's a future for us. It's an opportunity. In 2030, NASA says that we'll have colonies on the moon. And we'll also probably be able to solve some of our major diseases, such as cancer. We'll also learn how to feed people living on this world in a more effective and efficient way. You know what? The people who are going to be doing that is the young folks today running around in all these various communities. And hopefully, when they walk through that door, when they go into that tech center, that light will go on in them, and hopefully they will get into some careers that will do that. So again, I just want to thank you all and appreciate it very much.
Well said, Ken. Thank you. Well said, Ken. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and all of us will be available for any questions one-on-one. Thank you very much. Well done.